Hello and welcome to Sproink Dota presents Random Team Game. I'm Nuff and I'm joined once again by Iggy.
Dire team ban.
Iggy.
Hello!
Fucking hell, what the hell are you?
Yeah, my internet appears to have just melted this very second.
Excellent news. So you're going to be on a delay of about 5 seconds to anything I say, right?
Good.
10 seconds remaining.
This is going to be hilarious. Okay. So we've got winning matches between Noob is no excuse, all star apparently, so they're all really good at being noobs, I don't know, and MythofHeaVen.
Noob is no excuse. Got a reasonable amount of games under their belt, about 10 games. 7 losses within that though, so complete contrast to MythofHeaVen. That's a fuck ton of game and a fuck ton of wins, so just by the stats we'd probably say MythofHeaVen. Some interesting notes about MythofHeaVen though. They do like their pudge, which is always a nice thing.
It's interesting. Also, one of their players, Quaz Wex Exgort, was obviously going to be a big fan of Invoker. So maybe an Invoker pick. You can only hope.
He's been picked a few times.
Maybe. The bans, we might as well talk about them. We've seen Weaver being first banned for Noob Knows Excuse and Nyx Assassin.
No Wisp ban.
No Wisp ban. OD and Batrider being banned up by MythofHeaVen.
I think if MythofHeaVen don't take the Wisp here, Noob is no excuse will. They have played Wisp in their previous games. They've lost every game they've played with Wisp. Have played him.
Well, you've got to practice. You've got to practice to get better. Of course, the OD banning out, I was about to say, supports the Invoker pick, which they do pick up first here. So we do get to see an Invoker, and I wonder who will be playing him.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer right now. I mean, you don't name yourself Coswex Exalt and then not pick fucking Invoker.
Well, you might do, just to throw people off with your bans and picks. But, of course, now, also MythofHeaVen have the advantage in the sense that they have the first pick and the very last pick. The problem is, picking up Invoker means that they have a lot of picks able to be picked up to counter Invoker.
But to me, I think that is absolutely nothing better than watching a good Invoker get played. I mean, he's just one of the most fantastic heroes to watch. No Wisp pickup.
Radiant team pick.
They're going for the Dark Sin Rubik, both really strong picks. Rubik, of course, strong laning, and of course he's got that spell steal whatever he wants. A Jakiro pickup normally indicates they might be going for some team fight, and with Invoker being strong in the mid game, I reckon that's probably what they're going to go through the rest of their draft.
Well, you kind of don't need the biggest teamfight ultimates. I mean, it's always a risk picking someone like a Magnus or a Enigma after a Rubik's been shown. But you can always teamfight with, like, they seem like weaker spells, but when they get comboed up, things like an Ice Path, things like a Meteor, things like Macropire, that's what it's called. So you get these kind of abilities which all assist in a teamfight in small ways, and eventually when you look at it, that is a colossal amount of damage. Yeah,
by having a team fight ability split across the entire team, rather than just those like one big ones like Tide Hunters, Ravage, or your Chronosphere and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have it where, you know, your team works together to put in all that effort. It just means that Rubik can't steal one really strong spell.
And win the entire team fight, yeah.
On the downside, he can steal Jakiro's Ice Path, and it's instacast when he does it, and makes it incredibly good. Imagine Rubik stealing the Ice Path and teaming up with Darkseer, vacuuming them into the Ice Path. It's going to be pretty
a colossally good combination right there. But I don't know, you see, the thing is that Jakiro throws Ice Path out so much because of its short cooldown that it gets so easy for Nyx to steal it. And
Rubik.
Yeah, Rubik. I don't know why I call him Nyx. But unless Jakiro wants to be constantly throwing out the... Ooh. That's going to be very strong against the Invoker if Invoker chooses to go mid.
Are you having a drink or having a piss?
I am currently filling up a glass with drink.
I'm happy. You're that dedicated to that you just have a piss at your desk casting.
I'm not pissing in a bottle, no.
We might as well talk about the other bands. They banned out a Quap. Well, I didn't imagine they'd be picking up another mid, especially a Quap in this situation. And Morana off lane is a possibility, I suppose. She can set up really good team fights with her ultimate. Meanwhile, MythofHeaVen are banning out Lina, decent support, and Chen to stop the push. And that's possibly why, because they've got themselves a Nature's Prophet for the split push.
If you ban out the Chen, Nature's Prophet will do what the Chen does and then times it by 11 for your split push.
Yeah, he doesn't. Shen helps in many other ways, which makes him a really good pick. But Nature's Prophet is like king of split push. Him and
It's
like
the king of rat Dota. I mean,
yeah.
those
King
aren't
of PL.
poor. That's a crown.
It's a crown of dead rats.
Yeah.
10 seconds
But yeah,
remaining.
if the Templar Assassin does end up against the Invoker, Invoker might not end up
5
mid.
seconds
in the end.
remaining.
We've seen him being played in tri lanes and being played on off lane sometimes. Because you know you kind of
Reserve
have
time.
to protect him in a way. Because he's quite easy to shut down. And a Templar Assassin is just going to mash him. And Clockwork pick off, who I imagine will be
Radiant
their off
team
lane.
pick.
That's a really, really nice pick, actually. I mean, combined with the Darkseer Vacuum, if you can steal some good AoE with Rubik, you can do an awful lot of damage inside those cogs. Because you can vacuum people over the cogs and into them without breaking them. So it kind of doubles cogs range effectively.
For me, for their carry pickup, it has to be a Gyroclops now.
Yes.
It literally
10
has
seconds
to.
remaining.
They need
Because
big AoE. I mean, it's all well and good. I mean,
5 seconds
the
remaining.
only AoE they have so far is Fade Bolt, Clockwork's Rocket, and Ion
Reserve
Shell,
time.
and none of those are especially
They
good.
got Templar Assassin has her cleave-y kind of thing.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's a very, very direct thing. You have to be directly behind Templar
I
Assassin.
think it can work out pretty well with them in the cogs, but they've got another carry pick to go. They need to pick up something that can benefit from what the others can bring, which is that locked in with Clockwork, crazy shit. Kind of, I mean, a cooldown is going to do a lot of damage, and rocket barrage from just outside, and well, rocket barrage is going to be spread, so it's not going to be that useful, but flat cannon, and it's going to be good.
Unlocked.
Ooh.
Well, they could just go crazy shit. And
Dire
go,
team
I want to
ban.
pick a Warlock, and Templar Assassin be their only carry, but I don't think they are. I see another carry being picked up.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go something like that, because I mean, at the minute they have 2 potential offlaners and 2 potential mids at the moment,
10 seconds
with the
remaining.
Templar Assassin, the Clockwork, and the Darkseer. So they're already going to struggle
5
to lane these
seconds remaining.
heroes.
That's the problem.
It-
I forgot about the Darkseer.
It might be quite nice to put the
Reserve
Templar
time.
Assassin or the Clockwork on the tri lane, because then they can afford to farm up properly, and that's going to be an incredibly strong lane for ganking.
Yeah, but if you look at the picks, Jakiro Juggernaut, if they go for something like a Crystal Maiden, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to go for an aggressive tri-lane themselves to counter any tri-lane coming out of Noob. Nature's Prophet is clearly going to be off-laning, or hell, he might just go straight to jungle. We'd have to wait and see.
Indeed. Well, the big problem with Noob is no excuse at the minute is that they need another support and they need a carry, and they've only got 1 pick left.
I'm
And
really wondering if Clockwork is going to be a support Clockwork.
either that or we'll see the because I mean, at the end of the day, if you have Darkseer on the off lane, he's still going to be building your mech. He's still going to be supporting in his own special way, but he's not going to have the same presence on a tri lane. So it's kind of hard to say if they will just take a true hard carry now, preferably a range one, and then just lane with the Clockwork, like you said, on kind of a semi-support role.
Radiant team ban.
Alternatively, they might be looking to just completely and utterly jungle the Darkseer and go with a dual lane, trying to pick off against the single off-laner.
That might be quite wise. But then would you rather leave... Because you're going to have to leave Clockwork in the off lane then, and
10
I think
seconds remaining.
besides the occasional harass, which his Rocket Flare can bring out,
5
I think that's going to be a
remaining.
really, really poor lane up against this hyper-aggressive lane, because Clockwork doesn't have the best escape. I mean,
Reserve
all he
time.
can basically do is pop his cogs down,
Yeah.
and hope to hell he can run away quick enough.
I'm getting a quick hook though is going to be quite useful for ganking mid, in which they're probably going to do against
Very
the
true.
Invoker if he is mid. They've taken a long time to ban this. They got for the anti-mage as the ban. Alchemist
Dire
was being
team
banned
pick.
by Noob, but I didn't see Alchemist being picked up with them already having Juggernaut and Jakiro. I would have went for a Crystal Maiden ban or something like that, just to like eliminate that possibility entirely. I don't know if that's what they're going to be looking for.
Well, I mean, you can always run the Invoker as kind of a true hard support, because at the end of the day, he's all about his abilities, and he's going to have his
Levels.
abilities. Yeah.
See if
He's-
you look at-
he's a
Templar
difficult
Assassin
one.
has got to be on in the mid, because you want levels on Templar Assassin.
5 seconds
She's
remaining.
not that item dependent, which is great. So you just want to get her levels up as high as possible, which is the same with
Reserve
Invoker,
time.
really. He's not that level. He's level dependent. He's not that item dependent.
One big issue is that... Ooh.
So that's the main carry.
Radiant team
So
pick.
I do see a defensive like safe lane Rubik Phantom Lancer, but
Yeah.
I'm almost certain they're going to be up against Juggernaut, Jakiro, and whatever support they pick up now.
And that's really not going to be a fun lane because Phantom Lancer basically needs mana to survive on lane. I mean, it's kind of an issue he has, which is why you normally see him paired up with Keeper of the Light, giving constant mana to keep the lane pushed back in his favour.
10 seconds remaining.
The problem is Doppelwalk is so expensive at the early levels, and he doesn't have that much mana. And if he wants to harass for Spirit Lance, which he very often does if he has a Cottle supporting, he just can't do that. So
if he's up against a tri-lane, he's very unlikely to be trying to harass. He's just going to be trying to stay alive, so he'll keep holding that mana for when he needs it to escape.
Indeed.
But yeah, it's possible they have the Clockwork on lane. He'll just be there to drop his cogs and just basically burn as much mana as possible, and that will help the Phantom Lancer be able to get last hits because they can only harass him with Jakiro at the minute because they've gone for an Undying. Well, that's the anti-split push. Really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's going to try to stop Phantom Lancer should he be pushing towers in there. So it's not a bad pickup. We don't see a lot of Undying these days.
But we do love him all the same.
We do love him.
Undying is an absolutely fantastic counter to the Phantom Lancer. If Phantom Lancer's ever pushing a tower, you just go, well, I've got this thing called a tombstone. And suddenly there's a million zombies being spawned a second. And as fast as the Phantom Lancer illusions spawn, zombies spawn quicker. So this is going to be... It's actually going to be a really big trouble because they're not going to be able to split push in the same way if that Undying can get on the tower to defend.
Musically, Quaz Wax Exhaust is actually playing the Jakiro.
I know, that's depressing actually.
A little bit depressing, yeah.
Maybe they'll swap it on lane or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Undying isn't just counter the split push though as well. You got to remember that his ultimate is really good. As long as he stays alive, and people don't focus him because he's the tank. You're like, oh fuck tanks, you know, they're not in the meta. You ignore them, kill everybody else, then deal with the tank afterwards. But the longer he's alive, the more he kind of benefits his team. So it's rocket to the face.
30 seconds.
To me, it really looks like this Invoker's going to be offlaning. He's picked up Quaz first, which is basically I'm going to take harass. Please don't harass me. And he's got Boots first as well. So
yeah.
And the tri-lane looks to be, like you suggested, with the Darkseer jungling and just the Rubik and Phantom Lancer on lane. And I think this is actually going to be a fairly good lane for Invoker. I don't see him getting killed, and I see him picking up farm. I don't see the Rubik being able to harass him off lane, at the very least.
Probably not. They're probably going to... It'll be interesting. It will really count on the Darkseer's rotations. And unless Invoke is playing very safe or puts up a ward around here, he is going to have to be very wary, basically. He's going to need great, like, kind of sense. His sixth sense needs to be, like, through the roof to protect him.
But, I mean, all that said, I mean, Darkseer is not the greatest ganker in the game. I mean, he can put Ion Shell and he can surge himself after you.
It's not that, it's him Ion Shelling someone else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more worried about. But he's not the greatest ganker, but he'll get quick levels, or reasonably quick levels in the jungle. So.
Indeed. Oh, they seem to be going in on the Invoker now. Been lifted up.
Yep, nice chunk of damage.
Yeah, it's a
body
surprise
blocking him with his Darkseer as well.
That's really good play actually. We might see the Invoker draw first blood here.
And it goes to Phantom Lancer as well. Great work.
What? Everything I said just got proven wrong.
Yep. Clock, it just happens every week. Clockwork was on the bottom lane and it's Undying, but nothing's happened. So.
I really want to point something out here is that I'm genuinely surprised that that body block worked. I mean, we saw Invoker, he started with boots, and he was blocked by a base move speed Darkseer with no surge.
You have to remember though, I'm pretty sure Invoker's boost is good, but Darkseer isn't too bad. I think it's 300, is it 300 basic? Yeah, it's 300, so it's not that bad, but admittedly, the Invoker really should have been able to get out of there, and he's going to be really pissed off that he died so early on.
Indeed.
And not just that, giving away first blood to a Phantom Lancer is never great. And Nature's Prophet's in the mid, because we haven't really talked about the lanes, against this Templar Assassin, which was definitely a better matchup than Invoker.
Yeah. It's a really good choice, and I mean, Nature's Prophet basically pulls the same out of mid as he does from an off lane. I mean, if there's ever a situation where you can put a Nature's Prophet in mid, there's basically no negative to doing it over the offlane, because Templar Assassin is not going to be able to just completely dominate him. See him TPing right now. Oh, TPing to the room. Lazy fuck.
Well, that's some proper rune control, that is.
Nature's Prophet is the laziest hero in the game. It's like, oh, I can't be asked to walk for 10 seconds to go and grab a rune.
That's why Bulldog's so podgy. So, yeah, let's get the last hits while we're here, because I haven't done that yet. Farm's pretty slow on both sides at the minute, actually.
Templar Assassin actually crapping over the Nature's Prophet at the minute, but
Oh, yeah.
Nature's Prophet actually does not have any items. So he's going for a very, 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 very early Midas build, which is buying the recipe as soon as possible, the 1400 gold. And I think he's anticipated right here that he was never going to take that much harass in mid from a Templar Assassin. Oh.
She should be able to harass him down pretty easy. I mean, she does a considerable amount of damage, and Nature's Prophet is really... well, he's a big walking pussy, so...
You'll be surprised how much damage Nature's Prophet can do at level 1, and he has...
Oh, I know the damage he can do, it's the damage he can take as well.
Again,
he has a shield.
I'm genuinely surprised. You see, the thing is with Nature's Prophet is that his strength gain might be terrible, but his starting strength is reasonably good.
He's on the same HP as Templar Assassin.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she can do a considerable amount of damage, more than him, and she has a shield.
Yeah, but she has no way of interrupting. Wow, Nature's Prophet's second skill.
Well, once she gets a high enough level, that difference in strength gain is going to be pretty significant, and Nature's Prophet is going to have. Well, he should be able to TP out before the huge amount of damage comes out from her. But if she gets a double damage from anywhere, he's a dead man.
Well, yeah, of course, but.
Well, he's going to TP and get an illusion rune though.
What a lazy fuck.
Well, I just went to beat Templar Assassin to it. Clockwork's forced under his tower at the minute, he's just firing rockets off. Trying to get little last hits here and there.
This is all we expected to see from a Clockwork on the off lane. I mean, he's not in a nice position right now. However, I will say it's very, very interesting to see him pick up the Quelling Blade instead of a Stout Shield as his starting build.
Yeah, he should have expected he wasn't going to get any
form of solo lane to go up against.
No, but I wonder if they were thinking that, like we thought, I thought, this was going to be an aggressive tri-lane and they were going to go and deal with Phantom Lancer lane.
Indeed.
And if that had been the case, then the Quelling Blade would have been a great pickup, but as it stands, it's kind of a bit fucking useless. Unless, of course, he gets attacked by Nature's Prophet. Talking about Nature's Prophet, he's actually gone on this Templar Assassin in mid using his illusions, and they've been exchanging blows, but still very little going on at the moment.
Wow. I imagine this is... It's kind of surprising that so little is going on. I mean, yes, one team has a Phantom Lancer, one of the slowest heroes in the game, but the other team has a Juggernaut, and I mean, when you don't see early aggression from a Juggernaut, something's wrong.
Like I said, with the Invoker, he's pretty much a mid-gamer, and...
Oh, Invoker just dying up top right now.
Oh, trying to back out. He's going to be alright, actually, luckily for him.
Pretty close, though.
But yeah, Invoker's a kind of a mid-game hero, as is Juggernaut.
Indeed.
They've really got the backup of the Nature's Prophet split push if they don't kind of take the mid-game in the same way. Of course, though...
Juggernaut killing off Clockwork. Nearly dying himself, though.
Poor little Clock. Well, yeah, just getting too far out.
Indeed.
And Hand of Midas at any point? No, Nature's Prophet. Gonna see how much gold he can make without buying any items, I think.
It's going for Blink, man.
1700 gold, hasn't bought an item yet.
Yep. This is...
Oh, it's all reliable gold now, isn't it, pretty much, so... I like the way he's using the treants to harass Temple.
Indeed. This is what we see from treants, from Nature's Prophets in mid, is that you've got, wow, these treants, not really that good, so, wow, just going to send them at the hero, because, I mean, what else does he need mana for other than the occasional T-bit?
He's got a haste, they might go on his clock too far out.
Indeed.
Keep an eye on it.
Is she in a reasonably bad spot now? The thing is that he can make a reasonable distance with his cogs up, so there's the mic. Do you know, I was kind of deep down.
1900 was there. I expected him to buy something, like buy it in parts, but he just...
Yeah, it's very, very common for a Midas. It means he only needs to spend one teleport on going back to base or one trip of the courier, as opposed to having to keep using it. So when he doesn't need the attack speed, you might as well.
Always need the attack speed. So yeah, the gank on the Clockwork not working out. He just wouldn't get in a position they could easily take him out on.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's gonna. Are you gonna jungle now, Nature's Prophet? No, you just wanted to eat your creep.
In a deep down part of me, I was sincerely hoping that the Nature's Prophet.
Massively out of position. But he goes invisible. Oh, Sentry Ward goes down. He might be in trouble here. They get a lift on him. No mana left, but they can bring him down surely with right clicks.
Just
One
running.
more hit. Anything? There's one.
Oh, Rubik.
Diving hard to get him, actually getting beaten the crap out of by the tower now. He might go down himself. No, he hit the Phantom Lance with that last hit. Survives, Sal's up, and it's going to be fine. So yeah, 2 kills going the way of Noobs.
Indeed.
And
Just one some OV.
Yeah, and Heaven is on 1 at the minute. Just picking off that solo lane clockwork.
Hey.
The thing is, the more they kill off this Invoker...
Oh, that's not good for the Radiant.
It's more farm towards the Phantom Lancer, and I mean this top tower is already starting to break down. I'm gonna say something now, and I've been waiting to say it for absolutely ever. I was really hoping that the Nature's Prophet was going, I don't need a Midas this game. I'm saving for a Reddit. Because how good would it have seemed to see something like a Nature's Prophet just do completely out of the random go, I'm gonna rush a Radiance in mid. He was saving up that much gold.
I think that would have been ridiculously stupid.
Dire's middle tower is all alone in the world.
Yeah.
The Invoker, at the minute, he's picked up his Blades of Attack, which obviously means he's going towards Phase Boots, which does support the mid-game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Run, little bottom
Juggernaut,
tower.
I think,
Structures
already
are
has Phase
fortified.
Boots, yeah, so they're definitely both going for this mid-game, with the Nature's Prophet going with the Midas, so he has
Dire's bottom
more
tower
presence
is
in
under
late game.
attack.
Yep.
It's really interesting to see whether or not the PL is going to go for a Midas.
I think Undying's actually on number 6 here, by the way. Number 5 even.
Number 6.
Yeah,
No farm at
that's
all.
how little farm he's getting. Because Jakiro's found boots and poor old Undying. He's got a magic stick and a sage's mask.
Radiant's middle tower
Oh, he
is
found a
under
ring of
attack.
health. He's going for the soul
That's
ring.
not gonna hold.
We'll get that in about 20 minutes. I mean, if you can get Jakiro some farm and actually get him an Aghanims, which I don't see happening, because you need a mechanism before that,
What?
it becomes pretty bloody lethal.
Indeed.
Especially if you can couple that up with, like, Invoker.
I think Tornado's like, I think Invoker's actually picked up some really solid skills here now because he's getting the skills he needs to escape and stay alive as ready as his first cast.
Yeah, the problem is he's got 2,000 multi-umbrella.
Be careful there, Mr. PL.
Ultimate comes out, but there's no vision, so it's not going to do anything.
Indeed.
Bit of a
That's
waste.
it. It's harassing him off the lane for a little bit.
Talk about harassing off the lane. They're going this mid tower at the minute with the treants and the zombies. Well, there's no zombies. But there could have been. Oh, is that a tombstone still? No, you got soul rip, but it's still quite good.
Soul Rip is a very good ability. It's only at level 1, so
Yeah.
not really that strong, only doing 125 damage or heal, but
Oh, look at her go! Trying to pick off anyone, but she gets stunned up, and now she's freed as well. But they
Indeed.
can't kill her because of that shield, and she's invisible.
Dire's bottom tower is under
They had a
attack.
sentry
Run,
on
little
her,
bottom
but
tower.
she's
Run.
really
Indeed.
fine. But she's proper double damage.
yeah, she did.
Uh-oh, look out, Mr. Anybody
She
actually.
actually had it out on through the entirety of that fight, but
Oh, under the tower. Can she escape in time? She's going to be up right. Yeah, she's invisible now. She don't give a shit.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And the bottom tower went down to creeps. Juggernaut. No, not Juggernaut. Where's Juggernaut gone to?
I think he's in mid.
Juggernaut's dead, actually. What the hell happened there?
I think the TA may have actually picked him off.
He got killed by Rubik. Yeah, Rubik got him.
Rubik was in the mid. It's possible that the TA managed to kill it.
No, Rubik got him.
Yeah, but the TA taunted, say, in chat with
The Radiant should
Juggernaut.
really do
so-
something about that middle
It's
tower.
Yeah, I know Rubik killed him, but Rubik was in mid with the Templar Assassin. I was saying that the Templar Assassin popped the double damage, which helped secure the kill. Which is why it would have been popped so early when she wasn't otherwise going on. Be careful there, Mr. You see, I really think that this Phantom Lance keeps underestimating the Invoker.
Well, they've killed him off twice, so they're like, oh, fuck this guy. So on a one-on-one matchup, Phantom Lancer's getting shit kicked out of him. They're pushing tower.
Indeed. Well, he does need the supports there. I mean, for all the benefits of him, he can't solo lane against a good soloer like an Invoker. Oh, Tornado comes up. Might be a dead PL.
Well, if he can escape.
Dive! Don't dive! No! Invoker! You... Oh, dear.
Wow, man. Phantom Lancer survived with about 10 HP there. Good job. Actually, backup was coming as well, but
This
wasn't needed.
hero on the way, trying to find the Invoker, I imagine, but not going to manage it.
Looks like there's a rotation up here from Undying as well. So actually, they could catch out this Clockwork.
I don't see the Clockwork dropping down. I mean, he has an awful lot of health. And
No,
By the gods,
anyway.
the Dire's bottom tower
There's
doesn't
an
even have
up
arms
on
to
Rubik.
defend itself. What a brave
oh,
tower.
Juggernaut! A single target Omni Slash. That TPM was very poorly timed.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh dear.
Single target Omni Slash followed by a Blade Fury. Well, that was definitely a dead Clockwork.
I missed it again.
Well, he chose the TPM when there was no creep wave and Juggernaut was
Oh, he just makes them kill off Juggernaut as well. Hero.
Hero, yeah.
Sorry everyone, I'm having a horrific camera day. Darkseer goes down, they're going to right click this poor little Rubik down as well. They do lose, ultimately. The Undying, ironically, dies.
Dire's
to
middle
the
tower
charge.
is under attack.
They're going to go on for Invoker. A lot of damage coming out. Does he have... No, he hasn't got it yet. He'll have it soon, I'd imagine.
I don't see the Phantom Lance being able to solo kill off the Invoker though, so he can always Ghost Walk at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. If he had his Diffusal Blade, I could see it. He has got Dust,
That's
you see,
slow
the
as-
Phantom Lancer. So,
Quite wise pickup actually.
you'd expect it on one of the supports though, really.
Dire's bottom tower
Well, he's
is under
solo
attack.
laning and
Run, little
occasionally,
bottom tower.
like we
Run.
just saw, he is managing to get this Invoker down low, so...
Time to
Gotta
smoke,
love
gank,
them
I think.
smokes up from Rubik.
Leading CS chart is this Juggernaut actually. He's pushing his lane really fucking hard, alone. And they don't seem to... They've rotated 3 to deal with him and he's gone. It's such a waste of their time.
I know
There's a
that.
smoke up on the Rubik and the Clockwork. They're probably looking to either
Kind
take him
of.
out in or no, they're going to go on that Nature's Prophet if they can.
They're
But
gonna
the Rockets of Morningstar, he's kind of backed out now.
Oh, this. Oh, good hooks.
There's a distraction. They're going in on the Juggernaut.
Blade
He's getting
Fury.
out. Blade Fury TP. Can't
Nothing.
do nothing about it.
It has no arms to defend itself.
Spinning Rubik.
Yeah, they just haven't got enough right click damage to deal with him there. So
I think the big issue was there is that they were hoping that the Clockwork stun would last long enough for the Rubik to come around the corner and get the lift off. Didn't last quite long enough. Blade Fury came out. TP. He's gone.
even with the lift, it's only what is it?
The Radiant's
2
bottom tower
seconds,
has
so
seen better days.
Probably you would have got out of it anyway.
Yeah, but they-
Rubik's on the run. He's being chased here by the Nature's
Fortified.
Prophet, the Undying,
Booyah.
and a Chikiro. Going back to his own allies.
Radiant's bottom
Juggernaut
tower
is
is
pushing
under
out
attack.
as well with them. TPs. Oh no, nice lift by the Rubik. He's got underneath Nature's Prophet and chucks him down the stairs. Oh, they've treed him up. Big someone now. Blade Fury
Blade
keeps him
Fury.
alive.
Oh,
Omni
he's
Slash
doing Blade
goes
Fury
through the
TP.
Clockwork.
Oh.
Oh, there goes the spin. 10 ducks to get out. He does get out. And Rubik was brought down as well, so that went.
No, it wasn't. Rubik got out.
Rubik's still alive? How?
He Blade Fury TP with the stolen
Oh,
Blade Fury. That's
lovely.
what I was calling out, and you were missing it.
I was watching the Omni Slash murder Clockwork.
What?
Uh-oh,
Radiant's
Ducks
top
is
tower is
probably
under attack.
Legendary Rubik plays, and you
By
miss
the
it.
gods, the Dire's bottom tower doesn't
Bad.
even have arms to
You
defend
bad.
itself. What a brave tower.
Bad cameras today.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm really tired.
I think you just assumed he was dead. I assumed he was dead.
Seeing the Omni Slash, it was more fun. It was bright, shiny, and Clockwork died, so.
Flashing lights.
That's not good for the Radiant.
I don't know where you are, Templar.
Indeed. Gonna ignore the regen rune. Kind of surprising seeing as she's got an empty. Oh, she's going out for it now.
Oh, she's got a blank digger up now.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah,
is under
kind of got
attack.
well.
Phantom Lancer. Getting slowly towards the Diffusal Blade, and not quick enough in my mind. He wants it a lot quicker so he can start helping out.
I want to point something out. Is this Nature's Prophet is? He's been spending an awful time with his Hand of Midas on cooldown, and we kind of see it, and it's always a risk. If ever you take a Hand of Midas and you don't use it every 100 seconds, you're just not gaining the most out of it.
They're still getting the experience, which is nice, but
Well, no, because you're gaining less experience than you would be, because you can't stack cooldowns and charges on it. So you have to use it every time it's off cooldown, ideally.
no, I mean in general, it gives you bonus.
Oh yeah, true, and it gives you bonus gold as well, but
Can they defend this tier 1? I don't think they can, actually.
not against the tree and the zombies.
Oh, it's like a very good Temple Assassin. She's got stunned up, she's getting nuked to shit, and everything comes out on her.
Radiant's
She's
bottom
dead.
tower is
This
under
tower's
attack.
definitely going to go down.
The dust came out so quickly that she didn't have enough time to meld blink, unfortunately.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. I feel Dire's middle tower now belongs to the Aegis.
2-1 bottom.
It's not going to be a good trade because the Nature's Prophet and the Undying will continue to push.
Walls up and doesn't get Jakiro. Does he have back here? No, has no mana. And Jakiro's going to back out now. But there's a rotation from the Invoker looking for something to kill. There'll be a TP out there. Oh no, he's actually cancelling TP to... No, cold snap. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Up he goes. In comes the TP for support. Doesn't need it. Kills him off solo. And they're now chasing this Rubik who's in the corner. No, you're there, Rubik. Oh no. Rubik's definitely dead.
I salted him.
Nothing.
He tried with that TP, man, but there's just too much damage. You can't TP out in that time.
There's too many of them there. And melded up Temple Assassin waiting for someone to be foolish enough to push the lane. Oh no, she's going to move in on this. Yeah, she's going straight for Undying. There's a nice chunk of damage, but ends up backing out because of all these Treants doing shit tons of damage to her shell.
Indeed, and Undying is... He's not the easiest fella to go on. I mean, he has an urn, he has the Soul Ring, so he can cast multiple Soul Rips up on himself, even if he has no mana.
Radiant's middle tower is under
and he's just so inherently tanky, it's kind of an issue. And he can turn around and right-click you in the face and probably won't give a damn.
It doesn't look good. Dire's top tower has fallen in battle.
Well now, so they've lost tier 1s on every lane. They've only got... Well, they've got bottom and top, so... It's not too bad, but it's still looking a bit... wary for them. The early push is definitely in the favour of Heaven.
Also the late game push, I mean... Nature's Prophet, man.
Omnislash comes up, manages to murder Quadruple instantly. They're gonna lose Darks here as well, straight up as well. Rubik's not gonna be able to do very little to help. He's dead as well. That's a terrible, terrible situation. Phantom Lance, they've dusted him up, they know where he is, they're chasing him down, trying to TP out. Can they? Oh no, the cold snap stops him and he's dead too.
MythofHeaVen may have given away those first few kills, but they're turning this around in style now. And I mean, it's such a threat because if ever, I can't remember what the other team's called now. If ever they lose a team fight, Nature's Prophet will always take a tower.
Oh, lovely, lovely tornado coming up. She's invisible, but they know where you went invisible. They stunned her.
They haven't got any dust left.
No dust left. She's going to go for the Nature's Prophet. Oh, nice heal. She's in trouble. They meld up again. Blade Fury brings her down though. And that was a rocket from the old Sproink trying to pick somebody off, but not doing enough damage.
Interestingly enough, the Templar Assassin actually had 1 charges, but chose not to pop them, so...
Well, she was screwed anyway, wasn't she, to be honest.
She was pretty fucked.
I mean, the 1 charges might have broken the meld anyway, I'm not sure on that, but...
Well, she would have done, but...
Do it with flair.
She just helped her really, didn't it?
Yeah, she was being Blade Furied in the spot, so...
And what do you have? Blade Fury, lovely. Still for Rubik.
It's always funny seeing Rubik spinning around like a madman. TA, please, don't name me. It did go quite badly for her, let's be perfectly honest.
If it wasn't for the Soul Rip, probably would have got him. But the Soul Rip was really good for him. He like restored half his HP.
There's Soul Rips, there's Urns, and Nature's Prophet had a Shadow Blade, which was just about to come off cool.
Fuck on screen gone by his solo Invoker determined to kill him. The right click is destroying him. Up he goes and
Down he comes.
looks like the Lux is coming for support. But it's still only too late, mate.
If the TA can blink in though, I mean they can deal such horrific damage to the
Rubik's
Invoker.
here too, so. But uh-oh. Here comes the backup. Undying
good.
start up the Rubik. He's going to go down. He does go down. Undying claiming that kill. And they're manning up here. Oh dear. Blade Fury up on the TA. He's going to back out of this. But no, he's chasing her all the way. But they're going to go for the Dark Series instead. The wall's up. Pretty good wall actually. Oh, people are dying everywhere. Darkseer and his Overlord died in that fight.
All of the illusions actually bringing down the Juggernaut there. Pretty solid wall.
Yeah.
That said, I think this still may be a T3 right here, right now. Phantom Lance is split pushing down bot actually. I think they really do need him on the defense.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Racks if they don't get back. They've got the whole team back. Dust up. And Thunder, she's dead as well. Rubik can't still anything. Still stunned. Hero, nice lift up. They just whip it and bring him back, but can they bring him down? They don't have damage. He's just going to walk out and they've earned him up. He's right clicking like a beast. Oh, dear. Looks like,
good Rubik.
Rubik's in trouble now. Fadebolt comes out, but he's on the run. He's being chased down. Will they get him? I don't know. Invoker's right in the middle of things. He's surely going to die. He goes down. And yes, they did bring that Chikara as well. Actually, he does even lots again, the Chikara, which is nice.
I see, this is what I mean about them needing that Phantom Lancer back. I mean, having that extra illusions, throwing in that extra element of confusion and all of that right click. I mean, it's such a threat in these early game team fights when they're all draining mana, and it's very hard to deal with. So, good TP back eventually by the Phantom Lancer, but I don't think they needed to lose that tier 3.
No, but Juggernaut, man. Picked up the Mask of Madness.
Oh, Invoker, you monster at solo defense.
Yeah, that means Noob have really got to weather the storm here because the mid-game lineup of Heaven is much stronger.
Holy shit, we see a Mask of Madness up on the Juggernaut.
Yeah, I just called it a minute ago. And he just destroyed Darkseer, especially with those crits coming up as well. Gem of True Sight up on the Invoker, so no hiding for Phantom Lancer and no hiding for Templar Assassin. It's going to be really difficult from here on out.
I'd kind of like to see the Juggernaut go for a Basher next, though. Gonna look at taking Roche. Oh, Nature's Prophet, DC.
Oh, yeah. They don't need him. I think that's it.
They might do if they choose to come and try and defend this Roshan. They know something's up. I mean, the entire team is missing. They're doing a slow rotation.
They might see B in. Gets the vision.
Don't blink.
The rocket's full.
Yeah, they see the trap in there. Don't think the team's going to be quick enough though.
Done by Rubik. She's going to go for steal. She gets it as well. Fantastic play. Oh, she might die. Oh, she's trying to man up against this Juggernaut, but she can't do it. Aegis pop. She is very dead. Clockwork follows her as well. Rubik getting the stun out, trying to protect her again, but she's been right picked to death by this Juggernaut. He's just too powerful. Oh, they see you. They've got dust on you, and you're dead again. What can they do about it? Very little.
I mean,
he trapped Invoker up the hill using a vacuum.
Indeed, they did. He's got a 4-star.
Omni Slash comes out, but there's too many targets for him to take down. They're going to definitely kill off this Darkseer though. Down he goes. Can they bring down the Phantom Lancer as well? Yeah, he's down too. Only Rubik surviving that fight. It's looking really, really dire for the Dark team right now.
Absolutely monstrous at the minute. They need to focus him in a team fight when he has this Mask of Madness up. Actually going to go for a BKB next though. I mean, I kind of do want to see a Basher up on him.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The BKB was quite useful. He found himself stunned repeatedly in that match, which made it like a little obviously he didn't make it. They're going to defend this, but they've only got Rubik and a Clockwork. What has Rubik managed to steal? Got himself dual breath. He's being chased down by Invoker. Can he back out of this? He's going to be okay. He comes back up. Up goes back up. And he wants the EMP. Blam!
Oh, so close to killing off the Rubik right there.
It was a valiant effort. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
It's going to be at least one lane of rats.
Oh, yeah, going to not dying again. He doesn't manage to bring him down. Out comes the back through the wall. Can he bring anyone else down? They're looking to take them on. Here is a Clockwork of an Iron Shell manning up against the Undying, but he can't do enough damage. He gets punched to death. Jakiro managed to be killed off by the Templar Assassin. Invoker takes down Darkseer. Oh, they're going to go on Rubik. They do anything about Rubik. He is dead. As dead comes Templar Assassin is also dead. Everyone is dead. Apart from the TL.
Highlight of that fight for me, a single Juggernaut illusion being from the wall, being chased around by about 12 zombies from Undying. This is 2 lanes of Brax right here.
Phil's fighting off the mid push of the creeps in this meantime. Trying to get enough. He hasn't got enough items. It's just all he's got. Really, he
can't try and split push his way out of this. It's just not going to work.
He's lost the lane of Brax. They're going to lose the second lane of Brax. Any second now. Clockwork's back, Darkseer's back. What can they actually do? We saw them go on them and they couldn't do enough. The PL should have been helping, but he didn't do anything that fight.
Nathan Strom up on the Invoker. And a BKB coming out for the Juggernaut. Still not GGing though. Pretty brave them because they're just going to push into this top racks now, I think.
That's all they've got to do. Take that last ranks, get Mega Creeps, game's over. I don't see them being able to do a lot. TA hasn't got that many items. She's going towards either a BKB or a Desolator. I imagine Desolator. But it's not... It's not gonna be enough.
See a Veil of Discord up on this Undying now. Now, one of the great things about Veil of Discord on Undying is that not only is magic damage boosted from the Veil of Discord, because of his Flesh Golem ult, amplifying damage all around him, the damage amplification stacks with the Veil of Discord.
You have an Invoker able to drop a meatball on your fucking head.
Exactly. Now,
Serious damage.
coming out. I mean, this is absolutely colossal amounts of damage with this Veil of Discord up.
If they weren't winning team fights as well enough.
Indeed. It looks like it's just going to try and keep the mid lane pushed in and just try and harass those tier 4s down.
Go for it. Oh, Sacrifice being picked up by the Nature's Prophet.
This Invoker is coming up behind the Phantom Lancer. He's going to see this courier. Get the courier!
Flash into their team. Down goes the Darkseer. BKB is up so he can't be killed off. Clockwork's in deep trouble. He gets murdered by Juggernaut. Well, actually, Nature's Prophet brought him down, but Fadebot ain't gonna do shit.
I just want to point out something, is that the Dire Courier just flew over Invoker's head and he apparently was just sat there singing happy tunes to himself about trying to kill.
Slash coming out with the Rubik now. Nuff comes up, TA just gonna die again. There's very little she can do when she can't hide. Very fast looking Juggernaut, gotta try to kill Rubik. He's diving really hard but doesn't dive far enough to get himself killed. He wasn't far off it.
That Blade Fury of him right there was very, very wise. Rubik could have very easily turned around and picked up a lift, so good choice.
Dire's middle tower is all alone in the world.
Now I'm just going to push these tier 4s and push them in the Ancient, and there's very little to see Noob being able to do about it.
Dire's middle tower
Not even leaving Fountain as a 5. This could work with Nature's Prophets off busy push.
No, he hooked himself into a stun and a macro pyre. Oh, there's the damage is coming out on Shakira because of the blade armor. Oh no, TA trying desperately, or on PA trying desperately to get out of that, but he's dead. Looks like they're going to bring down TA in a second, but no, Darkseer. No, anyone? No, waiting for it. Now comes the dual flame breath. And they're going to take out Hero. He's not killed, but he managed to stun up Platinum Lance beforehand. In comes the Juggernaut.
And that's the second tier 4 going down.
Juggernaut's going to go down as well. Too much damage with his Mask Commander. Oh, they're going to go on the poor little TA. Rubik has been to Pig even. And down goes Nature's Prophet. But he can just TP right back if he wants to.
That was a 2 tier 4s going down and the tier 3 up top going down. While the team fight was going on, Creeps just went, well, if they're all busy, we're just going to push in here if you don't mind.
Medallion pickup for the... Okay, why not? No, it was a BKB being built on the TA, but I don't see it mattering now.
Indeed. That said, it's going to block things like the Scythe of Vice and the Ice Path and all of Invoker's many, many disables of glory. So, Nature's Prophet, you little son of a...
Oh, Clockwork, can you escape? No, you're dead. TA's on the run as well, being searched away by the Darkseer. Focus on the chase. Can he get Darkseer? That's all but over. I'm very surprised Noob didn't something.
There's hot lava under there.
Very little to do about it.
BKB.
Fight off this thing. He's trying to man up, but all the damage, so much damage coming up on her. Ice Bar comes out again. Both might go down though. He does go down.
Stun Shakiro!
Down goes Darkseer.
That cold snap's so lethal at the minute.
Oh, Nature's Prophet manning up against PL and winning.
Run, Nature's Prophet!
Shadow wants you! He wants you so bad!
You've got a Shadow Blade, you idiots!
Oh no, and down goes PA as well. Diving
Oh, Juggernaut!
He knew they were about to win anyway. He wasn't going to risk it.
Wow.
But, oh man.
That game turned around quickly.
Well, they had the stronger mid game by quite a way, and
they capitalised on it.
Damn straight they did. They were like, "Hey, this mid game. This is all ours."
Indeed.
And they just grabbed it by the throat and just.
I am amazed with that Invoker. I mean, giving away First Blood, giving away another death on lane, and still coming out of that game 12, 6, 15. Absolutely fantastic play, right?
Like I mentioned, he's really not item dependent.
As long as
a hero. And he's going to get levels if he's on a solo lane. So he still went into that mid game. Yes, he had less items than you'd like him to have in mid game, but he still had phase boots, so he's still doing quite a nice bit of damage when he was doing the cold snap.
I love the soul booster up on Undying most of all. He was halfway towards his Bloodstone, man.
Maybe he wasn't playing 6 after all.
Yeah.
But yeah, They had a stronger team fight as well with Jakiro.
Interesting thing to note, they actually ended up having 2 Veils of Discord in the end. I never saw the one on Jakiro.
Yeah, why not? Because
There's
shinies.
more bonus magic damage.
I don't think it quite works like that.
No, I don't think they start. It'd be nice if they did.
Clockwork had a horrific game. This is the thing with Clockwork. If you don't get decent-ish farm early on,
Yeah.
you can't do your tanking job very easily.
No, and you can't initiate in the same way that you normally would be able to. And Clockwork up against the tri-lane, you can take a bite. All you can do is harass and maybe get the occasional last hit with Rocket Flare.
Yeah.
Can't get on lane.
With that Quellen Blade, I'm telling you, he was expecting to be on against a solo lane Invoker, I imagine, or maybe even a solo. Maybe they
just profit.
They might have thought when they just profit. They would have thought the Invoker going mid, even though he probably wouldn't have had the greatest of times against the DA.
Possibly even the Undying on the offlane. I mean, we see a reasonable amount.
Yeah, possibly. But he'd be going against a tri-lane, ideally, if you're going to have him offlane.
Indeed.
But yeah, ends up Noob lived up to their names and got defeated.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. They played really, really well. I was genuinely impressed with both teams.
I completely outclassed in the mid game, and if you can't get to that late game, PL's useless.
I honestly think the PL made some poor choices. He had a diffusal blade. I mean, I know you want more items to fight with on PL, but when they're pushing your racks, you can't afford to be taking a tier 1 down bot. You have to TP back to defend. You have to help the team, because you can't... Against a mid-game team, there is no way you're going to win with you guys having 4 and them having 5, no matter what heroes you have. If they've gone mid-game, you have to fight in the mid-game.
Yeah, I think they could have done with picking up a decent anti-push support instead of the Clockwork and just had Darkseer off lane.
Indeed.
The Lina was banned out, admittedly.
Indeed. I was about to point that out, but there's still an awful lot of other really, really good supports at anti-pushing, so they didn't really have that much to do once... sorry, I'm atrocious with names. Once MythofHeaVen started pushing up onto the high ground, there wasn't really that much they could do to fight down and really keep the pressure on them. Maybe even pick up the Keeper of the Light. He wasn't banned out, and they had a Phantom Lancer. Yeah. I mean, why not pick up the Cottle? It would have given you anti-push. It would have made your lane with Phantom Lancer an awful lot stronger. And although Rubik did get some good steals, I mean, there wasn't anything huge for him to steal, so... You can only expect so.
The Cole pickup would have been really good, and like I said, it was looking very much like a mid-game oriented team with the Invoker and the Juggernaut. So you know they're going to be pushing towers early, and you need people that can defend while your PL is continuing to farm up. And Cottle is one of the strongest supports to being able to defend solo, or at least with a minimum amount of help. Because of the way Cottle, he's whatever it's called. Cottle's Blast. I can't remember what it's actually called.
Illuminate.
Illuminate, that's it. I blame Toby for this. Toby and his fucking Cottle Blast.
I know.
I think he would have been a superb... I think they got outdrafted. I think the Clockwork pick was an odd pick. We were both a bit confused by his pickup.
They had 3 mid offlaners, essentially, and it just wasn't enough for them.
Yeah, the mid-game presence was really lacking.
I think had they not picked up the Templar Assassin and the Clockwork, I think someone like a Puck would have done them absolute wonders. Because
silence. Oh yes.
Yeah. And also, let's not forget is that Puck is amazing on the defense like Cottle, because you fire out your orb, you teleport your orb, you silence, entire creep wave is dead, you then blink away if there's anyone there. It's practically undefeatable if you do it in that order, and I think a Puck would have been much stronger than a Templar Assassin in that game.
Yeah, and again, these games, they're not the highest tier, so it might be quite possible they're just picking heroes they're familiar with and happy with playing.
Indeed.
A lot of the time what you need to do in these kind of games, if you haven't got a massive hero pool, there's no point trying to counterpick people. A lot of the time.
You might as well just pick what you're comfortable with and play it to the best of your ability, because if you're forced into playing a Darkseer when the only other offlaner you've ever played is, let's say, a Nature's Prophet, you're not going to do well, because you've never played the hero before, you have no familiarity with the hero, you don't know what to build, you're probably just reading from item guides at the stage and from what you've seen happen before. So a hero you're comfortable with is so much better than a hero which is good according to the meta.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think they got outdrafted, they got outlaned, and then they got outplayed as well, and it just didn't end up going very well for them. And if all three of those are stacking up to you, of course you're going to end up losing.
Indeed. That's some good early ganks, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but you've got a tri-lane against one man. It's
well,
not
2.5 lane.
Yeah, it's not the most difficult thing to do, and he has no escape mechanism.
Yeah, level 1.
So it's not... And like I said, he doesn't really give a shit, because he's like, well, I don't have gold. Screw it.
But
I don't care.
I'll
I've
just
got
build a
levels.
4-staff and I'll be happy.
I'll be the 4-staff later when I've got all the gold from merging you in the mid-game with all my abilities. It's...
Nuke, 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 death, death, death.
Yeah, it would have been better if they had been shutting down...
The Juggernaut.
The Juggernaut got a little bit out of hand.
Well, I mean, anytime
he was free farming for a long time.
He had a Mask of Madness, a Battle Fury, he got 2 towers down on lane. And then it was silly things which happened, like the Clockwork, TPing in solo to defend against the Juggernaut.
With no creep wave.
Yes, with no creep wave when he's the only one on tower and you have no allies around you, and he just goes and there's just an Omni Slash and a Blade Fury and...
Yeah, Juggernaut loves nothing more than finding a free solo kill with Omni Slash. It's like one of those abilities that you don't normally use an ultimate on a single target, but that's one that you want to use on a single target if you can, because it's a guaranteed kill.
Some abilities you don't have a choice whether you single target them, and that's basically one of them.
You can multi-target, we saw it happen, but then no one dies at all.
Well, it depends. If there's only 2 heroes and you find yourself an Aghanims or something crazy like that, you can kill them. But
well, they're supports, I suppose. But
I think we're getting a little bit sidetracked on Juggernaut skills right now.
well, that's because Juggernaut's one of those heroes that everyone kind of loves.
I know.
He's not necessarily the best pick, especially in the meta at the moment. He's not... I mean, it's not
he's
really...
He's not the weakest pick, though. I mean, he's fantastic in an aggressive tri-lane. I mean, you basically get what Lifestealer gives you with your Blade Fury. I mean, it is magic immunity.
Yeah.
In addition to the fact you're spinning around like a lunatic and doing damage to everyone around you. It's great.
But he doesn't have the extra abilities that makes Lifestealer a better pick. He doesn't
Like
have
a
a slow. He
good
doesn't
slow.
have all the lifesteal. He hasn't got a built-in BKB. He can't infest.
He has got built in BKB.
Oh,
We just explained this.
It's not really though. Not.
It
Well,
is.
Okay, it is, but
Yeah. Gotta admit, I'm ripe for a change.
yeah, okay. He's
I
got
used the
built-in
word
BKB. But he doesn't have infest. He can't be toted around in a teleporty hero to gank the
He's
shit
not
out
nearly
of
as
things.
viable.
His ulti doesn't do a lot in a team fight, which I think is important. Well, as if you get a well-timed infest, it can do a hell of a lot of damage in a team fight. I don't think. I think he's good.
He
Don't
has
get me
one
wrong,
of the
he's
best critical hits in the game.
good. Right behind
Yeah.
PA. And she ain't a pick neither.
No. He has the best, highest damage critical hit in the game. On average, because of the percentage chance of it, he will do more damage per second with average crit chances than PA will.
Ah, yes, but PA attack speed bonus.
Yes, but Juggernaut had a Mask of Madness.
I actually got him killed.
Yeah,
he
but
popped
that's
it, it
what
was
you
like, I'm
get
gonna
with by a Mask of Madness.
Yeah. You don't put a Mask of Madness on when you have like a quarter health left. It's not gonna go well.
You do if it means you get the bonus speed to run away.
Well, he wasn't running. He was just dying.
It's fighting.
That's what he was doing. Just fighting the last man.
And he was winning.
It's worth mentioning for Noob, to give them some props. They did a really good steal on the Aegis.
That was really good. And they were using the Templar ward to scout it out, and then they saw blink. It was really good.
It was great. I mean,
She
she did die twice.
Yeah, and none of Myth of Heaven dropped from it.
I'm surprised she didn't instantly blink after the Aegis pop.
She had to blink in.
Yeah, but I don't know. It might have been a cooldown still.
Yeah,
Possibly.
it's got a reason why she died very quickly.
I think it's about 14 seconds.
Also, I believe the ice path was landed so that when she came out of the Aegis, she got instantly stunned and damaged by it.
It was a good deny in the end, but
It did.
they actually lost.
I think it's 2 or 3 heroes.
Everybody but Rubik, I think, died off of that.
Yeah,
they
Dark
changed-
got ran down. Phantom Lancer got ran down right next to the tier 3.
Yeah.
TA died in the fight. That was a lot of deaths.
Clockwork died in the fight about 4 seconds in because
Yeah. All
stand up.
it probably would have been better to let them have the Aegis. But they did well anyway.
It's a nice steal.
Indeed.
Give them props where props are due. Well, that is everything we can talk about, actually, about this match. So
Indeed.
Thank you very much for listening and for watching. You can follow us on Twitter if you're feeling a bit twittery. We're at Sproink Dota. And, of course, you can sub to the channel and see all the new sexy things being uploaded.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Cheerio.
See ya!